So, Republicans in Congress decided it would be a good idea for them to finally do something about our labor problems in this country and to make it easier on working families. So this is what they decided to do. America, they decided to pass the Working Families Flexibility Act out of the House of Representatives. Now let's listen to what this act does very carefully. The bill would change the long-standing labor policy that existed in this country for years that says after you work over 40 hours, when you work your 41st hour, you get paid time and a half. And what it would allow companies and corporations to do, it would allow those corporations to, instead of paying overtime, they would give you comp paid time off. Or they would say, you have to work these number of hours and you'll get these number of hours back at some point in time, right? The bill would require workers to agree. So you think, Republicans like this is a great idea. And in my mind, when I first thought about it, I'm like, okay, so you could either pick to get time off or you can pick to get time and a half. That works. But the bill requires workers to agree, but there's no measures to stop discrimination. I.e., if I am a worker that works at a factory that has this policy and I say, you know what, I'd rather take overtime, they could cut my hours. And they could discriminate against me because of my choice to get overtime over time and a half. Right? No measure there to stop that. But Republicans lined up, line, toe, and sinker to vote for it. Yes, they did. 2 Democrats voted for it. Shame on them. But the bottom line here is this is exactly what this bill would do. This bill would impose extra work, right, for no additional pay on American workers, adding to corporate profits while not adding to working class paychecks. The second thing the bill would do is employees would get less pay, they would have unpredictable schedules, more stress, and higher work-related expenses. Hear me out on this one now. So if you're a boss and you say, listen, I need you to work extra hours, even though you don't want to, right? And you decide to leave or whatever, because there's no discrimination protection, you're sort of almost forced to work these hours for comp time, and you might have to pay for childcare, etc., 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 etc. To make matters worse, the comp time that you would get can only be used when the company tells you that you can use it. So it's not like they're giving you comp time and you're free to use it whenever you like. They tell you when you can use your comp time. The good news here, folks, there's good news to this story. There's a silver lining in this cloud. And here is a silver lining for you to know out there. The first thing you need to know is that this bill will not pass the Senate. There's not a chance in hell. And it will be vetoed by the president. And if Congress wanted to get more work done for the American people and working class families, there's a couple things that I would rather them do. 1, raise the minimum wage. 2, mandate paid sick time. 3, end discriminatory practices against fair pay for a fair day's work, i.e., pass the Fair Paychecks Act and let women get the same amount that men make for doing the same job.